Hello, today I will be showing you how to create an interactive quiz which will eventually be brought up onto your screen, which then students or participants will log into a game room code that you create on their phone, iPad, or other device to actually participate in your quiz in a live feed. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to open a new web browser. I'm going to use Google Chrome. As that loads. And now the website that I will be using to create the quiz is going to be www.getkahoot.com. You can see you log in here. You can either create a new account for free or you can sign in. Now, I'm going to fast forward really quickly and show you the website. Once you have the quiz and you want students to participate, they will go to the webpage www.kahoot.it. Okay, you can see it right there. And they log in and they'll come to this screen. The screen here asks them to enter a game pin, which will be given to them when you start your quiz. They type in the numbers here, and then they'll enter into a game lobby, which will all make sense when we get going here. So first, I want to sign in. Now, once I have signed in, the first thing that you can see here is in the top bar. You have a little task bar up here. You have creating a new Kahoot. You have My Kahoots, find other Kahoots from other users. Frequently asked questions, and then if you have a question of your own, you can go ahead and put it right here. I'll show you some of my Kahoots. So this will be like your database of the Kahoots that you've created. You can see I have one for SIUE, which was just like a trial one, but I also have some psychology ones, some history ones, language, so on and so forth. Now, Find Kahoots is actually a cool little tool here. You can find a Kahoot for almost anything. So if you get a search bar here, I'll just say I need a Kahoot for baseball. And now there's going to be these other quizzes that I can actually go and play. So let's click play on one of them. Here it's showing you the questions. I can see the answers if I'd like, or I'll just click play. Now once I get to this screen, we'll get back here later, but I can set this up for my students to play today. Now back to our other screen though. I just showed you how to find other Kahoots. You can literally search almost anything to find Kahoots, My Kahoots, but we want to create a new Kahoot. So we're going to click this new Kahoot, and it's bringing me to my options here. Do I want to create a quiz, which is just like a standard multiple choice test? A jumble is going to be the same as a multiple choice Kahoot, except for you will be sequencing your answers. So it'll be like 1, 2, 3, 4, A, B, C, D, putting dates in order, putting the presidents in order, putting some type of timeline in order. Jumble is used for questions where they need to sequence their answers. Discussion is like a interactive, anonymous blog, so you can post answers without fear of having to talk out loud or something like that for whatever situation it may be, or maybe in a large group where people can post their answers quickly in a large discussion. And then a survey, just like any old survey that you've taken, it pulls results and answers. We're going to create a quiz today, though. So I click quiz. So once you start creating your quiz, you'll see a lot going on this page right here. In the top here is a title. So let's say we want to create a baseball quiz. Baseball. Okay. Now, the description portion is actually relevant to the Finding Kahoots tab that I had showed you prior, where you can search for different quizzes. The description will be a hashtag like this, and whatever words you put after your hashtags are going to be the actual keywords that people put in to find Kahoot that will bring your quiz up. So we want to do baseball. So now when anyone searches baseball, My Kahoot will be the one that they find, or one of them. I want this to be visible to everyone, not just myself. I'm going to do this in English. And the audience is we are doing a university. Now, the resources here, I don't have any for this one, but if I were to be using a textbook to create answers, or maybe some other type of flashcard program to get questions and answers, I would want to credit my sources here. An intro video, you can see here, it's got the YouTube URL already there. This is where you can actually go to YouTube, get a video, copy the URL, and paste it here so that when your students get this screen on their devices to type in the PIN code, my game will actually have the PIN code on the screen, and it will have this video here, whatever we put, will be playing. So I'll demonstrate that for you. We'll go to YouTube. We're going to find a video real quick. So I'll actually use my video that I did for SIUE. So I got my movie here. Now I'm going to copy this URL. And I'm going to go back to my quiz. And I'm going to paste my URL. And now my video will be the intro video when this game starts. You can also put a cover image for my quiz, like a title page, type picture, and you can either get one from Google or you can upload. I'll go ahead and upload one, and we'll just use a baseball glove. So I upload this image, and now this baseball glove will be the cover image to my quiz. So you can see I have a title, I have my search words, I have my privacy settings, no resources, but then to finish off, I have my YouTube URL video. I'm ready to go here and go to the next step. So you can see in the top right corner here, okay, go. We are ready to proceed. Brings us to this next page, which is going to be the actual creation of the quiz questions. So you can see you can edit your title and stuff here and maybe change your picture or your video. But again, I'm okay with this, so I'll go, okay, go. Now I want to add a question. So if I go here, click add a question, I'm going to enter whatever my first question is going to be. You have your question here. Your answers will be put down here. So I'll go, how many outs per inning? How many outs per inning? My time limit, we're going to stay with 20. For now, that's the default setting is 20 seconds. The great thing about this is once the game starts, if it's a 20-second time limit, but all the students have their answers in, it will skip forward to the next question. Or let's say one student is taking too long to answer or they drop out of the game, but their name is still logged in. I can actually skip the remaining time whenever I feel like it. So let's say I put it at 120 seconds. But it only took 20 seconds to answer, and someone used the washroom, so they weren't in the game anymore. If I don't want to wait that extra time, I can skip, and it will fast forward the remaining seconds. But we're going to go with 20. Now, for my answers, I'm going to put all my answers here in these different boxes. So we'll say 3 outs per inning. We'll say 6 outs per inning. Say 2 outs per inning or 9 outs per inning. Oops. Now, the correct answer here is going to be 6 outs per inning. There's 3 at the top half, 3 at the bottom half of a game, or an inning, I'm sorry. So I want 6 to be the answer that my students should choose. So I'm going to click to make this the correct answer. You can see the little taskbar telling you so. And it turns green once I've selected the correct answer. I can select multiple answers if there are multiple correct answers. In this case, there's only one. So my question looks like it's ready to go. I can also add a video image to each question, but that is going to end up taking a lot of time. The pictures are pretty cool, but they are absolutely not necessary to make an actual Kahoot quiz. Again, resources, if you're getting your questions from somewhere, it's nice to credit your resources below. Once I think that I'm ready though, I will click next. And you can see I have my first question created. I have my time limit I can adjust here. The pencil, I can edit the question. I can duplicate the question, or I can trash it. If I wanted to, I could go and create another question, and it's the same interface as before. And we'll just go, I don't know, something. Who throws the ball to the catcher? 20 seconds is good. We'll say first base. We'll say left field, pitcher, the coach. In this case, I'm talking about the pitcher, even though this might not be the best question. No sources here, no picture. I'm ready to go. Now I have my 2 questions. The next cool thing is if you play these quizzes like multiple times, if you want to avoid your students just memorizing, you can go ahead and switch up the order by just on this lightly shaded gray area. You can see here how it's changing colors. The cursor actually changes from the normal cursor to a hand, which means I can then click and hold on this area and then drag and drop it in the location that I would like. Just like that. Once we're good though, we have the correct order, we have our time limit set, we edited, we have everything ready. We are going to go ahead and save our quiz. We are ready to play. Now I can, at this screen, saved and published. It has now been saved to your initial home screen. So if you go into my Kahoots that I showed you before, this baseball quiz would be saved on that screen. If I want to edit, I can go back and edit it. If I want to preview it, which I'll show you in a moment, I can. Or I can click play or share if I want to share it out on like a Remind 101 or a Google Classroom so that my students could actually access it on their own whenever they wanted for review or a little brush up or maybe even homework. Now I'll show you the preview. Again, you can see it's showing you the phone. If your students were to be using a phone, this is what it would look like. I showed you this screen earlier. Right here, if you're using a computer, this will come up and it's asking you for a game pin on the phone or on the web page. So the students will be logged into kahoot.it and they'll be on this screen to the right waiting for the game pin to come up, which you maybe hook up your computer to a projector or a smart board in the classroom, or maybe even live stream your computer screen through a Zoom session, and the students could then log in on their phone at home, or I've seen it through Google Classroom. I've also seen live feeds through YouTube or Facebook where students can access this live feed, which would show this screen, so that they could use their device to play this game at home or in a study hall or in anywhere besides the classroom. Now, when you get to this screen, because you're starting your game, you got to decide, does each player have their own device or are there going to be teams? In my classroom, there was a Chromebook at each table, so we could go to team mode, and then each team would be a team of 3 or less or even more, and they would collaborate to get their answers. Game options on the bottom here, enable streak bonuses, podium, which shows you the results. Randomize the questions. This is actually cool if you don't want to switch up the order on your own. Randomize the order of the answers. Again, if you're doing this multiple times. Enable two-step join. If you don't know what this is, you can always click and see the details. Adds an extra step when joining a Kahoot to help secure the game to only the players in the room. It'll ask them for the pin again. Display the game pin throughout. In case a student gets dropped in the classroom, they can see the game pin still. Show minimized intro instructions. If you've played the game, you don't need the intro. Automatically move through questions. I actually do not like this because then you cannot fast forward through the time if someone gets dropped. I recommend that you keep this off. Requires players to rejoin after each Kahoot. I would leave this one off as well, just in case they get dropped or you play multiple games in a row. They can jump right back into the game when they're trying to rejoin. We'll go team mode, like I said. And you'll see now, get into your teams. These are representing the students in class. So we're in, we're ready to go. And now you can see it's going to play my video. My intro video will start playing here.
And the play is at first base to your left.
And yes, the pin code will stay right there. And it actually might get blocked a little bit, but that's okay. Here is the game pin, which the students will go onto their devices, which you can see on the right, and they will type in this pin, which is 94314. I type this in on my phone at www.kahoot.it. Type in the game pin. I'm going to enter this Kahoot, and now it's going to say, okay, what do you want your team name to be? Go Cubs. And now it's going to ask me, you can see my team is now in the game. And now it's asking me who are my players. We're going to have E, F, and G are our players. You could also add more if you'd like to. And we're ready. Now you see Go Cubs is E, F, and G. If a student picks an inappropriate name or something, you can always click this button and it will boot them. And they'll have to rejoin with an appropriate name, which might happen sometimes. Once everyone's in the game, maybe your intro video has stopped or it's finished. But you can also take away this pin code here. So now you can actually see more of the screen. And you still will have the pin up on the top. This is great to have going, maybe like a crash course or like a little short summary YouTube video of whatever you're discussing or taking a quiz on, so that while everyone's logging in, they're also watching a little review session. Once you're ready to go though, click start and the game will prompt. Here's my cover photo that I showed you before. First question, how many outs per inning? This is the screen that will be on your whiteboard or on YouTube Live. And then here's the phone. You can see it becomes an answering device that corresponds with each of the answers here. So we know it's 6 outs per inning. Yellow, 6 outs per inning. Yellow on my phone or device. My team decides, yeah, it's yellow. So we click it, boom. Answer is correct. We get a hot streak, and now what's projected to the class is how many people selected which answers, and the check mark will indicate which one is correct. Now I click next. You can see my score. If there was more teams, we'd have a scoreboard in here. And once you're ready, you click next question. Who throws the ball to the catcher? Left field, pitcher, first base, or coach. We know it's pitcher, but we're going to put the wrong answer here. We'll say first base. Got it incorrect this time. So it tells us what the correct answer is. It tells us what everyone in the class put, which is awesome for discussions. You can see right away, instant feedback. Does your class understand what you're going over, or does it not? I click next. The quiz is over. We got first place on our screen. Woohoo. It has the podium, which it talked about in the beginning. The podium of winners and losers. We got first place. Told us how many questions we got correct. Get results. You can save these on the Google Drive to see if your kids are getting better. Maybe you use this as a diagnostic, and then maybe a review session right before the test to see if you learned anything. You can see each student after the game will rate this Kahoot. Yeah, we think it's awesome. We learned something. We recommend it, and we feel mediocre because we were 50-50. We did not get the best score. So now if I click show feedback, I can actually see what my students pulled after the game. Did they like it? Did they learn anything? Do they recommend it? So this can help me as an instructor in the future creating of my Kahoots, or maybe reusing Kahoots. So once you've done this, you can play it again. You can create another Kahoot. You can save your results. But you'll see here, you can also go back to the scoreboard. Or you can just go back to your home page. And I did that by clicking New Game. And it brings me back to my home page, where if I go to My Kahoots, boom, you can see my quiz right here that we just played. I can share it from here. I can edit it, I can duplicate it, or I can go ahead and just play it again, where it'll bring me to the screen again, ask me if it's solo or team. And if I click solo, for instance, comes the pin code. There's the pin that students would type into their phones to enter back into the next game of Kahoot. I have shown you how to use the Kahoot interactive quiz system. Uh, it is great for the millennial age child that we have now who loves their phone anyway. Now they get to use their phone and they're actually being productive in the classroom. The students love it. I love it as a teacher. It's been very good to me. And if you have any other questions, again, there's the frequently asked questions at the top of the pages here. If I show you one more time, frequently asked questions. Or if you go to the support here, I promise you that the Kahoot people are very, very responsive to questions and also very, very helpful.